So here we go. I'm going to quickly unpack this. I'm not going to put you through the pain of everything because you're basically going to see my backside as I'm doing this. I'm going to take it out of the box. This does look like it's brand new. That said, this could be an actual press edition, which usually means it's being passed around the houses a little bit. But looking at this, yeah, this is brand spanking new. So let's quickly go through the contents. We've got the ink cartridges. So we've got the four colours that you would expect to see. Power plug, instruction manual, and the thing that really always gets on my go is the compulsory packaging. You seem to get absolutely everything these days. Sorry Epson, that's how you pack your kit, that's how it's coming out the box. Here we go. So we've got the obligatory polystyrene all over the deck. We'll put that on there for the time being. There we have it, all shiny brand new in the packaging. Just stick the box to one side. There we go. Alright, I'm hoping you can see me. I'm a lone cameraman today. Let's take this out of protective cover. Just put that to one side. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to read the instructions. I'm going to get this put together. As you'd expect to see, you've got the driver disc and information booklet, and it looks like we've got the standard instructions in various different languages, so we don't need those two. Now, I did promise you rather that I wasn't going to bore you with instructions, but there's a couple of things that I've come across that I think are important to mention if you're going to get one of these printers, which I think will help you out, which is the ink cartridges, which all come in these nice seal packages, have to be poured into the printer, which is what gives it its extra special qualities in terms of lasting for 2 years. 4,500 pages in black and white and 6,500 pages in full colour, which is a lot of printing. That's a lot of printing. That's you know, if you're running a small office, you could easily get by with that. And certainly a home business, but certainly home use, you're really not going to need much more than that. But just to quickly show you. So the important piece here being, as you can see, and I might be teaching some of you to suck eggs here, but you got your blue, I don't think that is called red, but we will call it red, magenta, that's it, I knew it wasn't red, yellow and black, so blue goes into blue obviously, yellow into yellow, magenta into magenta, and black into black. I would imagine that if you put them in the wrong containers, you could get some quite interesting printing. Just very quickly as well, if you can see that, just installing the drivers as part of the instructions, which is quite an important piece. Don't be tempted to skip any of these steps. I've tried doing that in the past with other things and it just isn't worth it. Just coming back in for a second tip with these bottles, you might now notice I'm wearing gloves. And the reason for that is it's not a massive amount, but I got the same on with the last cartridge, so I've got a little bit of a blue thumb. So I'm using latex gloves. These cost pennies, absolute pennies, but they will be worth it. So we're down to the last two bottles now. See you soon. Now I'm back again. I've done all 4 of the bottles, and I just want to touch base before we get to the next step, because I'm thinking that if some of you are looking at this printer, that you might be put off by the fact that you have to fill the printer itself up with bottles instead of just slotting in a cartridge. I've got to tell you, that was a doddle. Even though the camera was off, that took no more than 3 minutes. Yeah, maybe 5, because I ran and get a pair of the latex gloves. That's the only bit of ink that I did get on my finger, and that is from pulling off the little seal which is inside the bottle to stop the ink coming out when it's in transit. That's because I've got my thumb on the foil. So if you haven't got a chance to get the latex gloves, or you can't be bothered, or you're allergic to latex or whatever, just be careful taking the foil tap off. Otherwise, seamless. Be careful, you're pouring ink. But apart from the fact that you can spill it accidentally, there's nothing to worry about there. So yeah, all in all, so far, so good. Okay, user error. What I was doing when it was saying initialise the ink cartridges was pressing OK. So OK is the button we've been pressing up until that point. But in actual fact, I should have been pressing the blue diamond with the line through it, which is just here. I bet I'm not the only one who's made that mistake, Epson. It is in the instructions. It does tell you to press the right button, and it tells you to press the right button on the screen as well. But instinct tells you to press a button that says OK, Epson. But we got there in the end, but it was user error. But so far so good. We're now just initialising the wireless connection. So hopefully we'll be back soon, and we'll be able to print some paper. Well, not print some paper, just print some stuff on paper. So you could print paper, then there'd be no need to buy paper, would there? Although I suppose if you ran out of paper, you could in theory photocopy some blank paper. So now we've tried to do the automatic wireless setup, which didn't work, but I don't think that's anything too unusual with these things. They try and help you, and sometimes you've got to do it manually. But the trick here is you can't intervene with the ink setup process, which is charging the ink. It takes about 20 minutes. We're about halfway through, so I've gone and got myself a beer and some chocolate. So I'm going to wait about 20 minutes. You're probably going to wait about a millisecond once I stop talking. I do ramble a little. So that's where we're at the moment. No harm, no foul so far. Everything is going as well as it should be, could be. Would have been nice to have the automatic setup, but that could be the age of my machine as well. I've got a fairly old but reliable Elite book, so HP you're getting mentioned as well, and it says Budweiser actually, because I'm having a Budweiser. So I'll speak to you soon. Right, so we're done. We did it manually. Wasn't anything too difficult. This particular model isn't the touchscreen, so you have to scroll through. It's a bit like if you're anything like my age, it's a bit like using the old mobile phone to bring up characters and stuff, but really simple. In fact, only halfway through the beer. So now it's saying setup complete, print report question mark. So yeah, we do want a print report because we want to see if it prints. So I got myself some paper. Canon Black Label Premium. It's $3.99 from PC World, which is just down the road from me. Which for premium paper is not too bad at all. You can get cheaper. Supermarkets are great for printed paper. If you're not too bothered about quality, go for the cheap stuff. But this is nice, crisp white stuff. I'm not saying buy this, I'm not reviewing this. I just wanted to get something half decent. to do this printer some justice. I'm quite excited about this, if I'm honest with you. This is one of the more exciting products I've had sent to me in a long while. And over the years I've had some fair amounts of products sent to me, some more interesting than others and some better than others. And you're going to see a lot more. So we're going to pop the paper in there, which I'm assuming is like that. I'm not going to read the instructions for that, I'm just going to assume I know how to load a printer. And I'm going to press, it's asking me, it's saying to put paper in, so it's asking me questions now about the paper. Current settings A4, so I'm going to click OK. So it's saying yes or no. So no is the red button. I'm not going to click OK this time because I'm glued up to this blue dodgy button here. I'm going to push it, and it's now saying printing. I do know there's a little tray at the bottom here, 'cause I've been having a little fiddle whilst I was waiting, and it's printing. It's printing away, as you can see, and it's giving me a report. Oh, and it's an actual report. So it's got wireless network name, SSID check pass. In fact, I've got a lot of passes. So my security mode check, communication mode check, MAC address filtering check, even though I don't have a Mac, it's passed. Security key password check, IP address check, and detailed IP setup check. All passes, network is working correctly, and router access point, blah blah blah. That obviously gives us something. I guess if I was more technically minded, I'd care, but I don't care. Sorry, Epson. Right, so that's the setup done. Took around about 45-60 minutes maximum, but that's including the printer, ink, charging, getting everything out of the box, sitting around having a beer. I'm not really rushing, and a couple of little minor technical issues along the way. The Wi-Fi, I haven't do that manually, which again I think was more or less down to the age of my machine than anything. And now we're going to do a test page. So go on to the menu. This is the first test page that we've done, so you're going to see this go live. Hit print test page. Sure what that was. Got a slight error message coming up there on the screen, but I don't think there's anything to worry about. There we go. And there we are. Congratulations, you have finished setting up with your printer. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to find a good quality colour photograph to really put the printer through its paces. Bearing in mind this isn't quality photograph paper I'm going to be using, but I'm still curious to see what it can do in terms of photograph reproduction. So stay tuned. Right, so one final test on the printing side of life. We've selected a favourite family photograph of our little girl and her granddad to print. So I'm just going to send that to the printer now. It might take a little while because it is a photograph. So you are really being tested here, Epson. So while we're just waiting for that to come through, the verdict. In terms of the price, it's 250 quid, but it will save you a small fortune on cartridges. I've gone through 3, 4, maybe 5 printers over the last 6-7 years. Even on one occasion, going into a supermarket to buy ink cartridges for the printers, only to discover it was actually cheaper to buy a printer which was on offer at $39.99, which of course came with ink cartridges. But these things are a pain in the backside. They are always needing replacing. You can get very few prints out of them before you run into problems or you start getting the blurry images. So I think 250 quid for 2 years worth of ink cartridges as well, and it's a nice looking machine as well. It's a solid looking machine, it's got the copy facility, so if you need to send documentation like copies of identification for new accounts and things like that, it's absolutely fantastic, and it'll scan straight to the screen. It's got a nice interface which is very easy to use, apart from the OK button and the blue button. Epson, not too sure why we need that, but I'm sure there is a good reason. And there we have it. That's printed on standard paper, so it's not photograph quality finish, and probably this really isn't doing it much justice on the screen, but I can tell you that is a very good quality picture. I'm quite happy with that. Overall, I'd give the machine 8 out of 10. I'd certainly invest the £250 in purchasing one of these machines. It's very easy to set up, even with the glitches I had, which were just standard things that you'd expect when you're setting up a printer. It was fairly straightforward. While we've been off camera, there's been a few software updates which are still running through, so that's for the printer and the drivers as well on my machine. Again, all fairly standard stuff when you buy a new piece of tech. There's always the software updates, whether it's a new phone, a new laptop, new PC. That's always going to be there in the background. Thanks for joining us. Thanks. Bye.